Welcome back to the OC Body. We're talking with Todd Norman, a strength and conditioning specialist, kinesiologist, and really one of the country's elite sports conditioning people. And we're talking about getting your kids fit safely. And before we move on, I wanted to say one thing to the parents, and that is that it's important for you not to live vicariously through your children's athletic ability. So with that, what are some of the expectations that parents have which may be incorrect about what their kids are able to do with a conditioning program?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, we all want what's best for our kids, and we want to put them in the best situation to give them the greatest opportunity to be successful. But parents, you got to be realistic as far as what your kid can accomplish and what types of positions in sports they should be playing. So, you know, your abilities are really half genetic and half your training. Some of us are blessed with higher percentage of fast twitch muscle fibers, and we're going to be sprinters. Some people have higher percentage of slow twitch muscle fibers, and they're going to be better at endurance sports.
Right.
And if you have slow twitch fibers, no matter how good I train you, you're never going to be an elite sprinter, and that's a fact, until we start swapping out and doing muscle biopsies or switching out muscle cells. And the sprinters are never going to be able to compete with the Olympic marathoners. So the point is, you know, focus on your kid getting better and faster and stronger and more confident. Don't worry so much just about how fast or how high they can jump. You know, I'll never tell a parent, I'm going to definitely increase 4 inches on your kid's vertical jump, because I don't know. It could be 6 inches, it could be 2. I got to find out about that athlete. And you know, so just keep the expectations real.
I think that's a good point. And before we go back to that, there's something else that is of merit that I think is very, very important, and that is kids that excel in sports, not necessarily meaning that they're going to get to Lindsay's level, for example, but just the fact that they learn teamwork, they learn to understand and appreciate their body, they learn appropriate competitiveness. All these factors really benefit them later in life in business and relationships and all those things. So I think that's what's important as well, is that we're teaching the kids how to appreciate not just the physicality of their body, but how everything combines together and overall, in the future especially, makes them a better person.
Go ahead. Well, you know what, I'm glad you touched on that, John, because, you know, the mental aspect of it is really the biggest thing that comes out of it all, because probably about 1% of all the athletes in this country are actually going to play professional sports. We're all going to move on and do a career. So the biggest thing that these athletes are going to get out of training is confidence. And when you can build confidence in someone, that builds character, and that sets that person up for being successful. It doesn't matter what they do. And as far as other things that they can get out of training in the mental aspect, they're going to build discipline and commitment. They're going to learn, you know, that to get something that you want, you have to work hard for it. And establishing that work ethic in a young athlete is so great. It carries over into academics and into college and all that stuff.
I think one thing, you know, as you know, I did primarily endurance sports, and I made myself do the Ironman. One, I just wanted to do it because it was the Ironman, but I made myself do it because I knew it would teach me patience and discipline. And up until that point, I don't think I had that at the level that I knew I needed it. And so I think, and they don't have to do an endurance sport, but I think it's the understanding the process of how all the things culminate together to have an end goal.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, a lot of these young athletes, they have they lack high levels of coordination and body control, and so when they go out and compete on these teams for positions, you know, the other kids are making fun of them because they can't do a drill, and that just shatters a kid's, you know, self-esteem. When the kids come in and train with me or my staff, or if they do work with a sports trainer, they're going to develop coordination and balance and body control, and instead of being the kid last in line, they're going to be in the front of the line. Even if they don't have the best genetics, they're still going to be able to do a lot of these drills and stuff and have a better chance of being successful.
Right. Well, parents, please take this advice, because all too often, and I know Todd's seen it, I've seen it, and I don't specialize in the type of sports conditioning that Todd does. That's why I brought my friend who's one of the top experts in the country. And together we're telling you that, number one, respect your kids' ability and perhaps their inability to do certain things. There's always going to be limitations, but yet you can always have expectations as well. And don't get them involved in too many activities all at once, because sometimes that's just too much. It burns them out mentally in all different ways as well. So we're going to learn a lot more. There's much more to come. Stay with us. Go nowhere.